because I'm looking for the blueprint. Because I had made the money, but I lost it. I made my first million when I was 24 years old in real estate. But I lost it at 27 because why? Because I was still holding on to the things of my past. Nipsey Hussle said, open trust accounts, deposit racks. That's the structure. So I got the mentor. After I forgave my father, then I was able to open myself up to my mentor. Now I had to build my structure. Because if I don't have a structure, we can't talk about generational wealth. Nipsey said, open trust accounts, deposit racks. So that means don't get the cars first. Don't get the liabilities first. Don't start going to the mall first. He said, open trust accounts, deposit racks. Racks is thousands of dollars, money, investments. So a trust account is what I learned from my billionaire mentor. He said, you need a trust so that you can change the next generation. In my mind, I had to unlearn what I had been taught. Because I had been taught that trust fund babies were bad. Because when I grew up, they said, oh, that's a trust fund baby. So in my mind, I thought trust fund babies are bad. In my mind, I thought credit was bad. My mentor said I needed credit. I've been doing credit for over 23 years. I've been in the credit industry. But my mentor told me credit was good, right? All right, my uncle that raised me, he told me credit was bad because I didn't need to owe no man nothing. I needed to pay cash for it. So now I'm in a position where who do I listen to and what do I do? Nipsey said, open trust accounts, deposit racks, $1 million life insurance on my flesh. So that means what I have to do is I have to open my trust account. I didn't know how to open a trust account. So I went to my mentor and I said, hey, can I pay you for your time for the next 12 months to teach me about trust accounts? Because we can't have a conversation about generational wealth and not have a structure. You have to first start with your past. And although we don't like to deal with our past and we don't like to bring up our past, and a lot of our families were taught to sweep what's done at home is done at home. What's in the past is in the past. That's connected to your structure. That's connected to the wealth that you want to build for your children and their children and their children. So I had to start with the hurt from my father so that when I met my mentor, I could open my heart up to receive what they had for me. So I couldn't listen to what Steve Nelson taught me if I still had daddy issues, because in the back of my mind, I'll be saying, something ain't right, it's too good to be true. The information he's giving me is not true. So I had to open myself up for the mentor. So levels, mentor, structure, and what's next? Credit. So mentor, structure, credit. Mentor, structure, credit. All right, so I have my trust account. I deposit racks. I have my life insurance. I put it in my trust. Now I'm positioning myself to be a generational person like the Rockefellers. I have my structure. I have credit. My mentor told me, he said, you need credit. He said, I know you were taught that you need to pay cash for everything. He said, but you need relationships with banks. He said, you'll never be broke again if you have credit. He said, there's over 5,000 banks. So why wouldn't you get your credit together so that you can go to the banks so that now you're able to get the banks to give you the money, OPM, to invest in your ideas? I'm a world changer. I'm going to create millions of millionaires. I said, I'm going to change generational curses by helping people to become financially literate. I said, I'm going to help change the narrative of my family and their children. He said, man, like, you seem so confident. I want to take you to Starbucks. We started our meeting at Starbucks. And from there on, now he's taught me about trust accounts. That's what Nipsey talked about. He said, start with trust accounts, deposit racks, life insurance policy on my flesh. So when we start talking about how do we fuel our children, how do we fuel the next generation? We fuel the next generation by being in alignment with the structure. When my son comes and says, I want to start a business, I should have a family bank, which is the structure. When my child comes and said they want to start their own business, I should know about credit, financial literacy, business credit. I should have a plan for my child so that my child doesn't feel like they're in this world or they're a product of their environment. So that's why we have children that want to be drug dealers, because they don't have a plan. They don't have a structure. They hear us talking about things that we don't do. Real estate's how I made my first million. I kind of figured it out. That's why I lost my first million at 27, because I just figured it out because I had the ambition. All of our children don't have that. So we have to take the lead to say, you know what? I'm going to build a structure like the Rockefellers. Or, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is it's going to be a lifetime of building, just like the icons. Michael Jackson spent a lifetime building his legacy. And when he died, he did not have his trust in order. So what happened? His legacy was exposed to us. He was a private person. Now we know all his business, LA County Court, is public. So because he did not have his structure in place, now his children had to pay probate. Now his family had to go through years and years and years of distress, of courts. Prince, over 6 years of probate. Family members, aunties, uncles, cousins, he didn't even know, came to court trying to claim his inheritance, trying to claim the things that he had built in a lifetime. Aretha Franklin, same thing. Whitney Houston, same thing. Jimi Hendrix, same thing. Bob Marley, same thing. These people like us that want to build wealth and generations of wealth for their family. You don't just work every day in the studio and create hit songs that make $30 billion and millions and trillions, all these different hits and streams, just to say, oh, I just want to give it to the courts when I die. You don't do that. And we live in a day and time where information is so available. So in this informational time, Nipsey told you, open trust accounts, deposit racks, $1 million life insurance on my flesh, Beamers, Benz, Bentley, or a Lex. So that means stop trying to buy a car first when you get some money. You're an entrepreneur, you're laboring, you're building your legacy. Your legacy is, Maya Angelou said, your legacy is everyone that you touch along the way. Put your family first. John Rockefeller, he put his family first. That's why we still know the Rockefeller name. Structure, information, credit, and then you have to do the work, right? You have to do the work. But we start with doing the work, and then we have no structure, so then when we die, it's gone. So my challenge to each one of you is to do as my billionaire and millionaire mentors told me. You have to have a mentor. The mentor should be 10 or 15 years ahead of you. You have to have good credit. You have to have a structure, and you have to have discipline. Quit asking for more money. Ask for more discipline. Quit asking for more resources. Ask for more structure. Thank you for having me today.